Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this joint Yubico and Axiad webinar, 5 Steps to Stronger MFA for the New Work From Anywhere Reality. So let's start with the presenters. Let me start with just introducing myself. My name is Percy Wadia. I am in the product management team for Yubico. I joined Yubico about almost a year now, and it's been a fantastic ride. Let me quickly talk about Yubico also. Now, clearly the name Yubico, people must be wondering what it is. Yubico originates from the word ubiquitous, right? You must have guessed that. And our vision basically is of enabling a single security key to access all IT applications. That's pretty much a bold vision. To make that happen, for people who are familiar with our company, like our founders moved from Sweden to Silicon Valley. We have an office in Palo Alto, and we have worked closely with Google, Microsoft, so much so that the technology has become a global IT security standard. We are located in multiple countries in EMEA, US as well, backed by top VCs, and already have thousands of customers, enterprise customers and users globally. You can almost say that there are 9 out of 10 internet companies, many of the world's leading financial, retail, automotive brands trust Yubico to protect login access to their IT assets. So before I pass on the mic to my co-presenter, Jerome, I want to just cover a few of the housekeeping items. So first and foremost, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them. There is an Ask a Question tab on the right. Just type in your question. We will try and answer these questions as we see them. And we also have a dedicated Q&A session later on. So you can actually, we'll address those questions there as well. Second thing is we are recording this webinar. So you will be able to download a copy of the slides. You'll have a recording, etc. Anything, any technical difficulties that you have, there is also a link saying support for viewers at the bottom. You can click on that and hopefully your issue will be resolved. With that, I want to pass it on to Jerome. Jerome, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Percy, and hi, everyone. So my name is Jerome Becquart. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Axiad. Axiad is a US-based company headquartered in Santa Clara, California, in the Silicon Valley. We specialized in identity and access management, and our mission is to help enterprise reestablish trust in digital interaction. And in a nutshell, we specialize in helping our customers move to a passwordless world. We have had a lot of cooperation with Yubico over the years, especially around the past 2 or 3 years, to have significant number of Fortune 500 enterprise moving to this passwordless world with a joint solution of Axiad and Yubico. So just to get started, let's set a little bit the stage for what we're going to talk about today. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the problem with password. I think this is well established now, and every company out there is looking at moving to a passwordless world. As there is every week, it seems, news of some credential banks or a list of passwords being stolen and available over the internet. So that's not new. That's something that I think all of you are aware of, and either you've already addressed this or you're looking at addressing it in the near future. What has changed over the past few months, and obviously you're all fully aware of it, is the remote working situation. So what started as a constraint with the virus forcing all enterprise to basically in North America, but also kind of worldwide, to force their employees to work from home nearly overnight, it's now turning into something that is going to be more the new reality. A lot of enterprise realize that working from home is actually pretty efficient if you have the right tools for your worker, right? And we've seen over the past few months a number of pretty large companies, and you can see here some of the logos that have already communicated that going forward, they are going to offer more flexibility and for their employees to work from home. So what we see going forward is a much bigger split of people working remotely or from home versus going to the office. So what does it mean in terms of security or additional constraints from an IT security standpoint? So hybrid work environments, it means that one of the big change is the fact that now you have more and more users working remote. So there was already a significant number of users or employees working from home, but the numbers have really exploded, obviously, recently with the virus situation, but we expect going forward with all of this organization moving to this hybrid model. So it means that not only you need to address the security challenge moving to this passwordless world, but also you need to make sure that it's done in a way that doesn't impact your end user, right? Because now most of the end users are isolated, working in their home. They don't have the luxury of talking to one of the more experienced colleagues about how do I address this or that, or going to talk to them, or going to the IT office to bring their laptop and fix any issues that they may be having. Now everything is done remote. Everything is done through phone call or Team or Zoom or so on. And even if it's great as a communication tool, it still doesn't have the same type of interaction that if you were face-to-face. So keeping it easy is really super important for the end user. It's also important from an IT department standpoint and help desks, that's a solution that manage this credential and enable you to become passwordless needs to be easy to manage, easy to maintain, because they already have a lot on their plate with this remote access situation and this different support tickets that they need to handle. So they are looking at a way to streamline their activity, be more efficient, and do more with less. Percy?
Right. And with this, you should also sort of look at, so if you're talking about this new normal, Jerome, like I think the question is, what are these new threat vectors in this remote workplace? So we kind of broke it down into three, right? You have place, people, and then technology. If you really look at like the place side, like this, the simple fact here is that when people are working from home offices are not behind corporate firewalls. Accessing work resources and home in response to a coronavirus, of course, raises new questions about not only the capacity of your system that you have at home, but also the security of the tools that we're using to actually connect remotely to your office. So that's the whole thing that changes when, in fact, even right now I'm working from home. So I think that's something that we need to factor in. The second is people. As a remote worker, are you in a location that is secure? Are you sitting in a retail Wi-Fi network and you're downloading some software? Are you in a public place where when you're entering your credentials, there are people who can actually sort of be behind your shoulder and start, looking at your credentials? So all of those things come into play as well. Even if you go to the technology space, right? What is the level of security that you are accessing the corporate network from? Like, is it a corporate office issued laptop, or is it your home iPad? What is the level of security there? What is the level of security on your wireless routers? The point here is that as your environment changes, there is going to be substantially different threat vectors than most IT teams are used to managing. Most IT teams are focused on, at least before this new normal, focused on how do I secure my data center, how do I secure my office environment, not how do I actually secure my work, my workers' home environments. And now this becomes a factor for consideration. Previously, it was 10%, 15% of employees. Now we're talking about 100% of employees. So in order to mitigate these risks, what do we have to sort of do here? So first and foremost is we need to sort of think about what is your checklist? What are your best practices to enable this level of strong authentication? How do I set up and deploy the strong authentication? How do I do enrollment and remote provisioning of this? So if you literally think of it in three buckets, how do I procure my strong authentication capabilities? How do I distribute my strong authentication capabilities? Keep in mind, distribution previously was, please report to the IT office and pick up your security key. Now that's no longer true. Now it is, please send us your physical home address so that we can mail you a security key or whatever artifact that we're talking about. So this whole notion of distribution has now changed, even for the IT team. If you're an IT team, how do you start distributing to not 100 employees, but tens of thousands of employees? And last is, once that device, once a security construct is in the hands of the employee, how do these employees register? How do these employees enroll? So what are the online registration portals? How do they recover lost credentials? What are the recovery portals? All of these things now become substantially important as we go in this new normal. So let's look at the primary, one of the primary challenges here, which is logistics. Today's IT teams, they are focused on what is the technology, what is the best technology that our company can use to mitigate these risks and security threats. They are not looking at how do I get this technology in the hands of my 50,000 users within the next 1 month. So this logistics challenge is actually a pretty big deal. Many enterprises have dedicated teams that are actually managing the shipping and handling of all of this. Previously, procurement was you talk to the vendor, you get your security artifact, it's available in the office lobby, and everybody comes, shows their badge, picks up the security key, and moves on. Now we are actually talking about how do I mail these to individual users? Is the mailing address correct? How do I associate a user to a specific authentication mechanism? There'll be definitely the cost of this distribution is now substantially increasing. It is becoming much more time intensive because now not only do IT teams have to worry about the logistics of distribution, they also have to now talk about support. Is my security key or is my authentication mechanism on the way? What is the tracking? It got lost in the mail. How do I replace it? So this whole notion of how do I manage this logistics gets quite intimidating for typical IT teams.
To watch the full video, click the link below to our Bright Talk channel. For more Axiad content, click subscribe.